Right now, it is impossible to look at the Chicago Bears and feel the same way as before. Something has shifted, and it is not just about one win or one moment. What happened against Green Bay was one of those games that redefines how a fan base sees its team. A comeback like that, in the playoffs against a rival that has caused so much pain over the years, changes the emotional temperature of everything. Soldier Field felt alive again, not just loud, but defiant, like a place where opponents know they're stepping into something uncomfortable. Sending the Packers home in that fashion was not only satisfying, it felt symbolic, as if the Bears finally closed a chapter that had lingered for far too long. Now, the Bears stay home, and the challenge gets even heavier. The Los Angeles Rams are coming to Chicago for the divisional round, and this is not a matchup that allows even a second of complacency. Home field matters, especially in January at Soldier Field, but respect for the opponent matters even more. The Rams arrive as one of the most balanced and disciplined teams in the conference, well-coached and efficient on both sides of the ball. Their record tells part of the story, but the film tells the rest. This is a team that knows how to stay composed, how to adjust, and how to punish mistakes, and that alone makes this game dangerous. The Rams' offense has been relentless all season, capable of scoring in waves and controlling tempo when needed. They move the ball through the air with confidence and mix in a rushing attack that keeps defenses honest. Their ability to convert on crucial downs forces opponents to defend every inch of the field, and that is where discipline becomes non-negotiable. Any lapse, any misalignment, any blown assignment can turn into points, and against a team like this, points come fast. This is why the Bears cannot treat this as a reward for beating Green Bay. This is a test, maybe the biggest one they have faced all year. Defensively, the Rams are not flashy, but they are consistent. They tackle well, they communicate, and they make offenses earn everything. They are not a unit that beats itself, and that is what makes preparation and execution so important. The Bears will need to be intentional with every drive, every snap, and every adjustment. From the opening kickoff, the energy has to be controlled, focused, and sharp, not just emotional. Emotion helped fuel the comeback against Green Bay, but discipline will be what decides this next step. One thing that stands out about this Bears team is how much growth has happened in a relatively short period of time. The playoff win was not perfect, and that is actually part of why it felt so meaningful. The first half against Green Bay exposed some real issues, especially defensively and in offensive rhythm. Allowing 3 straight touchdown drives to open a playoff game is usually a death sentence, especially against a rival that feeds off confidence. The Packers took advantage of soft coverage, missed tackles, and hesitation, and for a while, it looked like the Bears were on the verge of being overwhelmed by the moment. What changed everything was the response. The second half told a completely different story, and it started with adjustments. The defense tightened up, communication improved, and pressure began to affect the quarterback. While sacks were not piling up, hits and disruptions changed the timing of the passing game. The Bears forced longer drives, limited explosive plays, and slowly took control of the flow of the game. Holding Green Bay to 6 points after halftime was not accidental. It was the result of accountability, corrections, and a refusal to let the game slip away. Offensively, the Bears leaned on players who have become pillars of this turnaround. The connection between Caleb Williams and his tight end has grown into something defenses are struggling to contain. Target after target, catch after catch, he proved to be a reliable safety valve and a difference maker in the most intense moments. That late 2-point conversion was not just a play, it was a statement of trust. When everything was on the line, the ball went to the player who had earned it through consistency and toughness all season. DJ Moore delivered when it mattered most, as he has done time and time again. The stat line may not jump off the page at first glance, but the impact was undeniable. Playing through pain, fighting for position, and coming up with a game-winning touchdown reminded everyone why his presence is so valuable. Chemistry takes time, especially with a young quarterback, and while it has not always been seamless, moments like that show what the ceiling can be. Moore brings experience, physicality, and a calm confidence that becomes contagious in high-pressure situations. Special teams quietly did their job, and in playoff football, that matters more than ever. Every field goal, every extra point, every return that flips field position adds up. Consistency in those moments creates breathing room and forces the opponent to press. In a game decided by slim margins, those details often decide who moves on and who goes home. The Bears were steady there, and that stability played a role in sustaining momentum as the game tightened. Still, there is no escaping the concerns that remain. The slow starts, particularly on offense, cannot continue. The first half play calling lacked balance and rhythm, and the run game felt like an afterthought early on. Against a team like the Rams, falling behind and relying on second-half heroics is a dangerous strategy. Adjustments are important, but so is setting the tone early. The Bears have shown they can respond, but now they must prove they can dictate from the opening drive. Injuries also loom as an unavoidable storyline. Losing a key defender hurts, especially against an opponent that thrives on exploiting mismatches. The next man up mentality will be tested again, and execution from replacements will be critical. Playoff football does not wait for anyone to heal, and every roster spot suddenly becomes important. This is where preparation, depth, and trust in the system are put under a microscope. What makes this moment different is that the Bears do not feel like a team hoping things break their way. They feel like a team learning how to impose itself, even when circumstances are not ideal. The leadership on the sideline, the belief in the locker room, and the steady growth of the quarterback all point toward a foundation that is finally taking shape. This next game against the Rams is not about comfort or validation. It is about measurement, about seeing exactly where this team stands when everything is on the line, and about discovering whether the momentum built against Green Bay can carry into an even harsher test under the lights at Soldier Field. What truly defines this stage of the season is not just talent, but the ability to learn in real time and apply those lessons when the margin for error disappears. That is where the Chicago Bears now find themselves. The comeback against Green Bay was not a fluke fueled only by emotion. It was a reflection of a team that can absorb punishment, identify what is going wrong, and respond with purpose. That mindset becomes even more critical against a Rams team that thrives on exploiting hesitation. Every drive, every adjustment, every substitution will be scrutinized, and the Bears have to show that their growth is not situational, but structural. One of the biggest factors moving forward is how Caleb Williams continues to handle the weight of playoff football. The stage does not get bigger than this, and the pressure does not ease up. What stands out is not that he has been perfect, because he has not, but that he has been resilient. Missed throws early in the Green Bay game did not spiral into panic. Instead, he settled, trusted his reads, and leaned into the players who have become extensions of his confidence. That ability to reset mentally is rare for a young quarterback, and it is one of the reasons this team believes it can survive these moments. The relationship between the quarterback and the coaching staff has become a stabilizing force. There is a clear sense of trust, even when criticism is deserved. The offensive approach in the first half against Green Bay left plenty of room for improvement, but the willingness to adjust without abandoning identity is what allowed the Bears to claw back into the game. That balance will be crucial against the Rams, because they are a team that forces offenses to reveal who they really are. If the Bears become predictable or impatient, they will be punished. If they stay composed and flexible, opportunities will appear. Defensively, the challenge is just as demanding. The first half against Green Bay exposed vulnerabilities that cannot resurface. Allowing early momentum is dangerous in any playoff game, but against a veteran quarterback who knows how to control tempo, it can be fatal. Communication in the secondary, discipline at the line of scrimmage, and situational awareness on third down will define whether the Bears can keep this game within their control. The second half performance against the Packers showed what this defense is capable of when assignments are executed with conviction rather than hesitation. Physicality will also play a defining role. The Rams are not intimidated by hostile environments, and they do not shy away from contact. The Bears must match that energy without losing structure. Winning at the line of scrimmage, especially in cold conditions, can tilt the entire game. If the Bears can establish balance early, they can slow down the Rams' pass rush and force them to respect the run. That, in turn, opens up the intermediate passing game, where timing and chemistry become weapons rather than liabilities. Depth becomes more than a talking point at this stage. Every injury, every snap count, every rotation matters. Players who may not have been in the spotlight all season are suddenly one play away from being decisive factors. This is where culture shows itself. A locker room that believes in preparation and accountability does not flinch when names change on the field. The Bears have spoken all year about next man up, and now that philosophy is being tested in the most unforgiving environment possible. There's also a psychological layer to this moment that cannot be ignored. For years, the Bears were a team trying to find stability, cycling through disappointment and uncertainty. This playoff run, regardless of how it ends, represents a shift in perception. But inside the building, the focus is not on symbolism or narratives. It is on execution. The players understand that respect in this league is earned week by week, not granted by one emotional win. Facing the Rams at home is an opportunity, but it is also a responsibility to prove that the standard has changed. The crowd at Soldier Field will be a factor, but it cannot be the plan. Noise helps, energy helps, but preparation wins games. The Bears must play with urgency without playing rushed. That balance is difficult, especially for a team still learning how to navigate success. The temptation to chase big plays or force momentum can lead to mistakes. Staying patient, trusting the system, and letting the game come naturally will be essential if they want to control the outcome rather than react to it. What makes this matchup so compelling is that it strips away illusions. There are no easy paths, no favorable narratives to hide behind. The Rams represent consistency, experience, and efficiency. The Bears represent growth, hunger, and emerging confidence. When those two forces collide, the result often comes down to who makes fewer self-inflicted errors and who capitalizes on the moments that matter most. Red zone efficiency, third down execution, and situational football will carry more weight than raw yardage or time of possession. This is also where leadership becomes visible in subtle ways. It shows in how players respond after a negative play, how quickly they line up after a mistake, and how they communicate under stress. The Bears showed signs of that maturity in the second half against Green Bay, and now they have to sustain it from the opening snap. Consistency, not flashes, will define whether this team is ready to take another step. As the Rams prepare to enter one of the most challenging road environments in the league, the Bears prepare to defend more than just their home field. They are defending a new identity, one built on resilience, accountability, and belief. This game will not be decided by reputation or past success. It will be decided by who adapts faster, who executes cleaner, and who embraces the moment without being consumed by it. The Bears have earned a right to be here, but now comes the part where potential must be transformed into proof, one snap at a time. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Shockwaves are rippling through the NFL as whispers from inside the Chicago Bears locker room suggest a fracture that could redefine the team's season. Sources close to the team claim that head coach Ben Johnson has made a dramatic and unprecedented decision, reportedly severing ties with a key starter following a heated altercation. He's not coming back, an insider allegedly told us, hinting at the severity of the confrontation that, according to sources, went far beyond a typical sideline disagreement. Details remain scarce, but the incident is said to have occurred during a tense team meeting, escalating from a verbal clash into something the coaching staff could no longer overlook. The player involved, whose identity has been intentionally withheld amidst swirling rumors, is reportedly a cornerstone of the Bears roster, someone whose absence could leave a significant void on both the offensive or defensive side. Fans and analysts alike are now left speculating how Johnson's uncompromising stance might affect the locker room's morale, as well as the team's strategic plans for upcoming matchups. Ben Johnson, known for his no-nonsense approach and strict locker room discipline, has rarely made public statements regarding internal conflicts. However, those familiar with his methods say this move aligns with a pattern of prioritizing team culture over individual talent. Observers are questioning whether this decision is a calculated message to the rest of the squad or a reactive measure born out of frustration. Social media has been ablaze with theories, ranging from career-ending disputes to deeper philosophical clashes between the coach and his players. The ripple effects of this drama could extend beyond the field. Rival teams are reportedly keeping a close eye on the Bears, sensing potential openings to exploit perceived instability. Meanwhile, the Bears fan base is divided between those who applaud Johnson's decisiveness and those who fear losing a key piece of their lineup could derail their season ambitions. One thing is certain. The locker room tension and this rumored fallout will be a storyline impossible to ignore as speculation continues to mount around Chicago's beleaguered franchise. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.